This video is sponsored by Phoenix Pharos cards. If you need supplies of singles or splits for Cardfight Vanguard, especially the ones in the video, do check out Phoenix Pharos cards today, and as a bonus, use the promo code MetaNerd to get an amazing 5% discount. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the MetaNerd channel. I am Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard Willdress. In this video, we'll be going through the support that Stoicheia actually received in DBT09. There's quite a sizable one. Of course, with the new addition to Granfia, we actually did miss like I think 1 or 2, maybe 3 cards that was introduced after Granfia was revealed. So of course, it's not just only Granfia. We also do have support card for Magnolia as well as Blackbird. Let's take a look at what Stoicheia received for DBT09. First off is an order card, Prolific Orange. So that unit is more orange than Tangerine, apparently. Play this with Counterblast 1, call up to 2 plant tokens to Rearguard Circle. It's a very simple order card that lets any right line within Stoicheia to actually superior call 2 plant tokens. It's actually not a bad order card, it's just that, you know, plant tokens tend to be not very powerful. I mean, the right lines that can take advantage of this order card is basically Granfia as well as Roroa, because those two right lines are the one that take advantage of plant tokens the most, with Roroa able to get defensive as well as, you know, Granfia will get more power the more plant tokens you call. Very nice order card, although it is still depend on whether or not you're able to compensate the tokens, because tokens, to be honest, is not very huge because they are 5k. As mentioned before, Roroa as well as Granfia will be taking the most advantage due to there are supports within that white line that actually gains power from tokens that you call. So this order is very nice. It's not restricted to only Roroa as well as Granfia. Anything in Stoicheia is able to use this order card. It's a nice to have support, if that makes sense. Next up, we have Burst Peas. Auto Rearguard Circle. Once per turn, when this unit attacks, cost Counterblast 1 and retire a plant token. And this unit gets 10k power until the end of turn. This is probably like the main attacker for Granfia if, of course, you don't have Inlet Pulse. This P is going to be really huge and should suffice as the main attacker. Since, you know, token is just practically free inside a Granfia deck because you are generating tokens like no tomorrow, the actual cost is basically just Counterblast 1. Since you are able to, for that one Counterblast, this card is basically a 23k to 33k attacker, as well as a 48k to 58k on restand, because, you know, Granfia does restand, and of course you are able to sacrifice 5 plant token, which will then give a 25k on the second swing, which is very huge. And not to mention, Granfia himself is hitting for like a stupid number already. This card just makes it even sweeter. But of course, since Inlet Pulse is a thing, most of the time Inlet Pulse will be the one that restands rather than this card. Although this card is not really that bad of a card to put in alongside Inlet Pulse, because this card is hitting for numbers, as you can see right there. Very nice common card. Next up, we have Tightline Dragon. Active Rearguard Circle once per turn. If you personal right this turn, cost Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your other units, and that unit and this unit gets power plus 10 until the end of turn. There are support cards that actually supports the personal right mechanic for each and every nation within DBT09. This is one of them. This is like a very dangerous unit to be played on the personal right turn. Not only does it give others the 10k power, it also gives itself the 10k power, which will make most of your stuff hit for even harder. The right lines that actually want to run this is basically Maelstrom as well as Blackbird, because those two right lines are the one that is hitting for multiple times with maybe a very small number. With this in the fray, it makes most of your stuff to be very disgusting. And not to mention, you are personal riding, it's essentially a 20k to the front row. Super disgusting. This card, I think, is going to be a must to be get for all Stoicheia's right line. Even if you're not playing Maelstrom or Blackbird, each and every other Stoicheia right line is able to use this card. For example, Roroa, the Momoke token, is able to get that 10k power and then pass it on to Radalina as well as the Grade 3 Radalina. So the power you get here is very cost effective, although it does cost 1 soul, but it's better than costing 1 Counterblast, if you ask me. It's just really nice inside Stoicheia. Next, we have Farmin Pumpkin. and of course this is going to be the Granfia card. Active rearguard once per turn. If you have a Vanguard with Granfia in its card name, cost Soul Blast 1, call a plant token to rearguard circle. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, call 2 instead of 1. I mean, it's basically just more plant token generator for Granfia. Most of these plant tokens are going to be gauges for the Noblest Rose anyway, so yeah, with every plant token you generate, it will be converted to gauges for the Noblest Rose, and which in turn gives 5k to the whole Granfia column. I would be very surprised if Granfia is hitting less than 53k. Granfia is gonna hit very hard. Although the restand, it only limits you 25k, it's a bit of a shame, but if they don't limit the number of gauges or Noblest Rose you can sacrifice to give the restanding unit that power, it's going to be very scary. I think this is without a doubt one of the best cards that Granfia will have at the moment. It's just really good. And what's more, Granfia will just get bigger and bigger. No questions asked. Next up, we have Tier 9 Eriante. I don't know why I say that in Spanish. Active Vanguard once per turn. If you have a Vanguard with Flagberg in its card name, cost Counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand, choose a grade 3 or less from your drop zone, call it a rearguard circle, and it gets 5k power until the end of turn. This card is like one of those cards that helps you recycle your rearguards to help you get out of bricking situations, which in Flagberg case, if they go against decks that retires a lot, they are gonna run out of attackers sooner or later. This card just basically lets you recycle one of those attackers. For example, Inlet Pulse is the best example here, as well as any other stuff that can restand for a card in the hand. And of course, this card will definitely become Inlet Pulse's new best friend. This is just very disgusting because you don't actually minus by using Eriante skill to get back Inlet Pulse, because Inlet Pulse will just draw you that one card. Very disgusting. And the 5k to that newly called rearguard is just really good. It's just so good. Instead of a 5k guard, it becomes a 10k guard. Very nice support. Although you do really need to be careful in terms of your counterblast usage, because even with the recent support that Flagberg gets that reduces the counterblast of Flagberg, I still think that the counterblast will be, you know, quite heavy. But even so, by the time you run out of counterblast, it's most likely either you're dead or your opponent, so doesn't really matter as much. Unless of course it's a very drawn out game, then yeah, you're gonna be in big trouble. Very nice card, and I do suggest you getting like 1 or 2 copies, because she is definitely not going to be run at 4, because you have other stuff that is way better than this card. Next, we are going into Magnolia. We have Sylvan Beast Winnsapooh. Anyone see the resemblance between this and Winnie the Pooh? Even the name is Winnie the Pooh. Continuous deck and hand. If you have a grade 2 or greater Vanguard with Silverhorn Beast in its card name, different from this card gets grade -1. Second skill, continuous rearguard circle. If your Vanguard with Magnolia in its card name was placed this turn, this unit gets 10k power. So this is basically a grade 2 disguised as a grade 3 within the Magnolia deck. It basically increases your consistency in terms of checking the top deck. If you happen to check this card as the top deck for your right line skill, you are able to superior call instead of, you know, putting it to the soul, which sucks a lot. This card does let you call out a 13k body to the rearguard with this right line skill, because the right line skill only checks if the reveal card is a grade 2 or less, which this card is when he's in a deck. So very nice card. He's basically a 28k when you ride into Magnolia. Even on the 3rd turn, you will definitely ride Magnolia on the 3rd turn, which will make this a 23k attacker. And of course, if you put him in the back row, Magnolia will just give an extra 5k, which is why he is going to be a 28k from the back row if you're riding Magnolia. Very beefy attack. However, the only problem for this card is that I don't really see a lot of value for now, other than being a grade 2 in the deck. I'm not sure why this card is regarded as a grade 2 in the hand. Perhaps in the future, once we see more support from Magnolia, we will be able to know why this unit is also treated as a grade 2 in the hand. That's up for future me to do that. It's a solid pickup, but of course, at the moment, there's not a lot of value of you running this card inside Magnolia. Who knows what will happen once we get a new Magnolia? That would definitely change things. The last card for this video is Silverhorn Beast Goildoat. Auto drop zone. When your Vanguard with Magnolia in its card name is placed during your right phase, if your soul do not have a Silverhorn Beast Goildoat, which is himself, put this unit into your soul, choose one of your Vanguard, and it gets 5k power until the end of turn. Second skill, auto back row rearguard circle. When this unit attack, this unit gets 10k power until the end of that battle. At the end of the battle, if this unit is in the center column, retire this unit and draw a card. So Winnsapooh 2.0, but this time Magnolia specific. This card is basically a 25k attacker from the back row, while also giving you the draw provided you place him in the center back row rearguard circle. But even if he's placed on the left or right side back row rearguard circle, he's still able to get the 20k power. You don't get the draw, sadly, but still, it's still quite a beefy attacker. This card basically encourages you to be very, very aggressive with this card, because since his skill is active in the drop zone, it means that you can just call him out to basically put on some pressure to the opponent while trying to set him up for your Magnolia turn. With him giving the 5k to Magnolia, it actually makes the Vanguard slightly more dangerous, because most of the time Magnolia is just gonna attack for 13k without any boost, which means that a 15k shield will be a 2 to pass for Magnolia. So with this giving a 5k to Magnolia himself, what this means is that 15k shield is going to be 1 to pass, which is quite annoying. This, I think, is going to be a very, very solid pickup for Magnolia, and probably going to be the main card to be Soul Blast out for any card skill. This card is like one of those quality support that Magnolia's desperately needs. I mean, in terms of offensive wise, as well as, you know, the utility that this card provides is actually, without a doubt, going to be one of the best support that Magnolia actually receives. Here's to hoping Magnolia do shine in the meta without the help of Winnsapooh, that is. And that is all for this video. Do let me know down in the comment section of what do you think for Stoicheia's major support. Do like and subscribe if you like this video. Of course, don't ring the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.